So today I want to speak about why we chose to remove these 4 monuments to the lost cause of the Confederacy, but also how and why this process can move us towards healing and understanding each other. It is self-evident that these men did not fight for the United States of America. They fought against it. They may have been warriors, but in this cause, they were not patriots. These statues are not just stone and metal. They're not just innocent remembrances of a benign history. These monuments celebrate a fictional sanitized Confederacy, ignoring the death, ignoring the enslavement, ignoring the terror that it actually stood for. And after the Civil War, these monuments were part of that terrorism, as much as burning a cross on someone's lawn. They were erected purposefully to send a strong message to all who walked in the shadows about who was still in charge in this city. Another friend asked me to consider these 4 monuments from the perspective of an African-American mother or father trying to explain to their 5th grade daughter why Robert E. Lee sat atop of our city. Can you do it? Can you do it? Can you look into the eyes of this young girl and convince her that Robert E. Lee is there to encourage her? Do you think that she feels inspired and hopeful by that story? Do these monuments help her see her future with limitless potential? Have you ever thought that if her potential is limited, yours and my limited potential as well? We all know the answers to these very simple questions. When you look into this child's eyes is the moment when the searing truth comes into focus. This is the moment when we know what we must do, when we know what is right. There's Lee right there.
This event has been declared an unlawful assembly. Your leave the immediate area until you will be arrested.
Replace us! You will not replace us! You will not replace us! It's our right! It's our right! It's our right! It's our
Okay, hi everyone. Those people were carrying the torches, the tiki torches, were shouting, "Jews will not replace us. Jews will not replace us. Jews will not replace us." That I talked a bit about that in the last class. That in the discussion of ethnocentrism and the conflicts that emerge around it, that stereotyping is law-like in its emergence among human beings. And you can predict the kind of stereotypes that emerge. And so I wanted to see if I can show you. I think you can see that. I hope you can see that Word file. It says that you're able to see it, but just to make sure that we do see it. No, it's not. I think there you see it there. That the white core group, WASP, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant core group in the United States, stereotypes Jews as in a conspiracy to manipulate these Black and inferior peoples, so-called inferior backward peoples. The polite term for them in the United States is people of color, right? Black people, Indian Americans, Hispanics. These people are manipulating these people as part of a grand conspiracy to eliminate these people. Now that's a typical view of white nationalists in terms of seeing a conspiracy involving George Soros and other Jews to encourage people like Barack Obama to become president in order to suppress these people so that these people can exploit the situation for their own dominance. It's a stereotype. It's conspiracy thinking. Okay, so but before we go on, we have to do the work that we have to do in terms of Cyber Campus. And so let's open up Cyber Campus, and I will go to, if I can find it here. I thought I already did open that up. Let me see one more time. Cyber Campus, here we go. And let me see, to share. There you see it. So here is the attendance, and we are already in week 2. And so smart attendance, and your number is 514. 514 is your smart attendance number. So let me go to the chat and go here, stop share 514 and put that in the chat box, 514. And there you see that's the number that you need to enter in. And once the photocopy of the Howard Zinn books becomes available, I will send you an email so you can go buy it. But you already have the PDF file, which I sent you the link to download the PDF file, two PDF file links, because it's a big book, right? I sent you those links to download the file. If you haven't downloaded it because you added the class late and you didn't get that email from me with the link, please let me know, and I will send you the 2 links so you can download the PDF file for the Howard Zinn book. And so let me close that and go back to the Cyber Campus. And I think you're still seeing that. Let me see if I can go, yes, share screen, Cyber Campus, and go to the assignments link. And the assignments link here is, this is your first assignment for the semester. So I would like you to send me a 150-word, at least 150-word paragraph, pro or con, on this statement. You take a pro or con position on this statement. To South Koreans, America owes reparations to its indigenous Indian people and Black citizens for the legacy effects of European colonization and imperialism. You know, what do I mean by legacy effects? On some of the American Indian reservations where the Indian people were forcibly relocated, which we'll talk about later, and well, pretty soon in the Howard Zinn book, American Indians were moved to reservations, land that was reserved for them, where they were supposed to live because they could not continue to roam freely in their hunter-gatherer lifestyle, but they were displaced, and so they were sent to Indian reservations. And so maybe the most famous Indian reservation is this one, which I can show you here if it comes up. So you can, I think you can see that. It says that you can see it, but just to make sure, I'll save it, share it again. And you can see this is the areas where Indian people were forced to live. This is maybe some of those famous reservations here. These are places where Native American reservations, where American Indians are concentrated. And American Indian population is a small percentage of the American population, no more than 2% of the population of the United States self-identify as being indigenous Americans. So lots of them assimilated, integrated into American society, into white populations through intermarriage and so on. But a small percentage of the population of what is the United States still declares itself to be Native American. And on some of these Indian reservations, the legacy of imperialism, the legacy of their loss is quite striking. They have incredibly high levels of, for example, of social pathologies like alcohol abuse, drug abuse, life expectancy of people living on some of these territories is about as low as it is in terms of people living in Somalia today. So let me see if I can show you, this is a list of the different reservations. There are tremendous levels of alcoholism among the adult population. Like a great majority of the population is addicted to alcohol. Obesity, diabetes that goes with obesity. These are the legacies of the marginalization, stereotyping, and marginalization and segregation of Indian American people. Among African Americans, and we'll talk about this throughout the whole semester, right? African American population, people who define themselves as being African American or Black, they are about 15, well, maybe 12% of the population, but they also have disproportionately high levels of poverty, disproportionate high levels, much more than 12% of the population, for example, in American prisons are, they said here, it states here 14.2% of the population, actually. Yeah, okay, more than I had estimated. But they're up to 30% of the population, for example, in American prisons are African American. And the United States has over 2 million people in prison. The poverty rate in the United States is about 11% of the population in the United States live below the poverty line in terms of their socioeconomic status being below the poverty line. Officially, the number is 11%, but over 30% of African Americans live below the poverty line. Why? Why do African Americans have disproportionately high levels of diabetes, of drug abuse, of alcohol abuse, of incarceration in the prison system? Is it because they're born genetically criminal? They're born genetically inferior? Of course, that's what Adolf Hitler argued, and that's what the Nazis argued, that there are people in the world who are genetically inferior and predisposed to act that way. And many of those white nationalists you saw protesting would share that view, that African Americans are in their difficult conditions because that's the way they are. And of course, if you don't believe that they're genetically predisposed to be criminal, then we have to recognize that society makes these people. Society makes people the way they are, marginalized. And that means human beings do these things. Human beings and human behaviors and human policies, including government policies, over decades, generations, and centuries, continue to create situations in which certain people benefit from the dominant institutions because they set up the dominant institutions. And those people include the people in the core group, right, that we described earlier. These people who came to America and removed the local indigenous populations, brought over African Americans and others to work as free labor in the American plantation and mining system to grow tobacco and cotton. These people, they created the institutions, and particularly Europeans who confronted, lots of Europeans from other European countries confronted opposition, but they eventually were able to assimilate. But Africans and Indians, these people here were the enemy, the target, the source of exploitation that was the foundation upon which the worldview and control system and government that these people set up in what became the United States, beginning 400 years ago. And we could talk about Spanish America and Portuguese America, similar stories, but we're talking about North America here. And so, and as I mentioned, these people today, you know, as we talked about or described last class in Hollywood, for example, how, you know, what's the one easy way to make money, right? In mass media entertainment. In mass media entertainment is to appeal to basic stereotypes that people learn from the time they were born. From the time that they're coming to this world, they learn about the American West and the conquest of the Great West and the settlement of the United States, what became the United States. Earlier, of course, Christopher Columbus coming, and they learn about how great those founders of America and the American colonization and expansion at the expense of the indigenous Indian people. And they learn that. And then if you become a Hollywood producer or director, you want to produce films that are going to entertain people. And you know that there are these romantic images that are implanted in people's brains and hearts from the time they're born. And you want to play with those romantic images because people want to feel good about themselves. So if you make a film about how great America's heroes were in creating the great United States, including the expansion westward, you're going to play with those imprinted images of self, positive images of self versus the negative other, including Indians, like I showed in that video last week. And people pay for that. They'll pay money for those tickets for that entertainment because they are going to feel good. And so stereotypes are important in many, many, many ways, not just in government policy, but throughout the existence of a society. Its entertainment industry, for example, and its sports industry, and the role of elites in America understanding this and making steps to alleviate or counteract those stereotypes. I mean, we all know, I mean, Koreans love baseball, right? Baseball was a segregated sport. There were separate baseball teams for the so-called Negroes, the African-American, the Negro leagues of baseball teams, where African-Americans would play on their own separate baseball teams. And then there was the Major League professional baseball teams that only had white people. And Jackie Robinson was the first Black person to be brought over from the Negro leagues into Major League Baseball. And that was critically important because people love sports. Koreans love sports. We all get so excited about sports. We all have our favorite teams. We're fans. And you want your team to win because if your team wins, you feel that you win because you're part of that in-group, right? Part of that in-group. And of course, capitalism does have its benefits. Jackie Robinson, as the first Black player, came into the Major League Baseball because he was a good player and he was going to help the team that brought him in to play baseball win baseball games. And so let me go to that Wikipedia page here. And there you see Jackie Robinson, who became the first African-American to play in Major League Baseball. And he was brought in and he helped his team win championships. And it was, of course, controversial. Many people did not like wanting to have any kind of interaction with these Black people. Keep in mind, what America had at the time was a caste system, like in India. Since we're here in Asia, right, we all know about the caste system in India between the Brahmins at the top, the lighter skinned people at the top, and caste roughly corresponding with different degrees of level of skin darkness, skin pigmentation, all the way down to the so-called untouchables, now called Dalits at the bottom. You had a similar situation or comparable situation in the United States. So people did not want to associate with Black people for the same reason higher castes in India people often don't want to associate with the untouchables, with the Dalits. We don't want him there, but also we want to win baseball games. We want to be the champion. And so this, for Barack Obama to become elected president of the United States in 2008, any explanation of how Barack Obama was able to get elected in 2008 has to include the role of entertainment industry and the sports industry, the sports system as part of the entertainment industry in attacking and undermining these stereotypes. I mean, if Jackie Robinson had not had broken the color line to allow Black people to play in Major League Baseball, Barack Obama would never become president of the United States. People became, when I was a small child, I remember watching television, and I grew up watching professional football, and there were always Black people playing professional football. We always have seen Black people in baseball and football. And so it makes it easier to accept Black people being public figures because they're public entertainment figures in sports, as well as in other forms of entertainment. So, but still, you're overcoming this legacy of imperialism, this legacy of colonization, and the self-serving stereotypes that emerged to justify exploiting these people, and the institutionalization of those stereotypes in terms of control systems, the police, the military, the form of government, the creation of the US Constitution. When we study the US Constitution, you will see obviously the clear impact of slavery, and the tensions and conflicts over slavery are directly there in the US Constitution that created the structure of the American government today. And so you have these institutions that reflect these internalized self-serving stereotypes, so that people can do what they want to do and protect what they want to do, and even feel good about doing what they want to do, like exploit free labor available from Africa to make money in growing cotton and tobacco and sugarcane in the so-called New World. And okay, so that's the context. So let's go to our exercise. And remember, I divided you up into 5 groups last class. And group 1 was supposed to be Christopher Columbus. And group 2, and I have the paper here somewhere, group 2 is Columbus's men. Group 3 was Isabella and Ferdinand, Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand of Spain, who sent Christopher Columbus to find a new way to India, and he unexpectedly crashed into Hispaniola, North and South America. Group 4 was the Carib or Arawak or Tainos people in Hispaniola, and group 5 is the system of empire, for trying to explain the horrendous outcomes of what happened when Christopher Columbus came to Hispaniola, where there was hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people living there. And in the space of 50 years, they would all be gone, dead. And we covered that in the class. So just to remind us what we looked at in the class, this notorious picture, and let me see, share screen, and we go here, people versus Columbus, and people knew what was going on. It wasn't a surprise what was happening. It wasn't like this was hidden or not visible. Let me see, I think you can see that, right? So make sure, let me stop share and make sure so the computer's not surprised. This was what was going on. Of course, some people claim this was anti-Spanish propaganda, but the fact remains that these people disappeared from Hispaniola, and 90%, if not more, of the population living in North and South America would disappear, would die. So many would die that the Europeans would then turn to Africa to bring in more free labor when all this labor disappeared from death and exploitation. So I divided you up into those 5 groups, and some of you might have joined the class later after we assigned people to these different groups. So if you are not assigned to a group, I will add you to a group. But first thing I want to do is reestablish the breakout room. So let me make you into groups of 5 different groups. And remember that group 1, hold it, sorry, let me close this, I didn't do it right. Just a second, I wanted to be able to create these groups assign people, let people choose. I thought I could do this. Okay, yes. So I want you to choose the group you're going to belong to and open all rooms. So group 1, you are Columbus. So those people that got the file for Christopher Columbus, please join group 1. The people that got the file to represent Columbus's men, please join room 2. The people who got the file to be Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand to represent them, join group 3. And group 4, the Tainos, and group 5 is the System of Empire. So join the right group, please. And let me see if I can. Yeah, I can't reassign them. I can't rename them now. But group 1 is for Columbus. Group 2 is for Columbus men. Group 3 is for Isabella and Ferdinand. Group 4 is the Tainos Indians. And group 5 is the System of Empire. So please join the right group, okay? And if you haven't joined a group because you don't know which group you're in, how can you have 6 people? We shouldn't have 6 people in room 2. We have 6 people in room 2. That's Columbus's men. So join group 1 if you're in Columbus. If you're Columbus, join room 3 if you're Isabella and Ferdinand. Join room 4 if you're the Tainos, and join room 5 if you are the System of Empire. And if you do not have a group, I see Chung Min Ju, you're not in a group yet? Okay, how about if I add you to room 1? Okay. So room 1, let me join room 4. Send you the file for the computer, just in case you don't have it here. And you are Columbus. And open. So there's room 1 if you don't have a copy of it. So let me go back to the breakout rooms. Does anybody not have a copy of the files? There's only one person in room 5. Who else is System of Empire? Kim Tong Yoon, you're in group 5, room 5. There can't be 6 people as Columbus's men. Okay, so let me reassign somebody to room 5. So you 2, I will assign you to room 5. And I will assign and this person is not assigned. I will assign you to room 5 as well. Please join the groups. Please join the rooms I sent you to. And I will join. And
Professor,
yeah,
I think I'm in a wrong what's it?
group room.
Wrong group.
Okay, so what room should you be in?
My group is number 4, group 4.
Okay. So let me go back to the breakout rooms. And you, where are you now?
My group team members' name was Kim Dong-yoon, Park Ji-eun, Park Jong-hyun, and Jong Sung-hyun.
In room 4?
Yeah, yes, group number 4.
Okay, so those people go to room 4 is the Tainos. Go to room 4. Can you move?
How can I go to group number 4?
I think you are Kim Young. What is your name again?
J. Ryu. UJ.
I'm looking,
Tainos group, Tainos.
yeah, but where are you at? You're in room 2 now?
I'm not sure.
Are you Chung Jae? No.
Yes, UJ. My name is UJ.
Is it Jung Jae?
My name is UJ, and I don't know where I am now. Where I am
You're in
now.
group 5. You're in room 5 now.
I am in room 5 now.
Yeah, you should be in room 4, you say?
Yes. My group is number.
Okay, I moved you to room 4. Who else needs to be moved? What? Who else needs to be moved? Speak up, please. Or send me a chat message.
네.
Sorry, who are you? Turn on your video so I can see you. Is everybody in the right group? I think everybody's assigned. Okay, so we'll just assume you're in the right group then. And so now I need to choose one person from each group that is going to be part of the jury that's going to judge who is most guilty versus who is less guilty. So when I assign you to these groups, you should decide who among the 5 different groups is most guilty, who is next, divide up the percentage of guilt of 100%, who is 50% guilty, who is 30% guilty, who is 10% guilty, but somebody should be more guilty than someone else, okay? So is everybody assigned to a group? Are you all in the right group? Kim Tong-yoon, are you in room 4? I'm going to assign you to room 5. And who else has not joined a group? Okay, so in room 1, it's Kyu King Tong or Kim Dong Yun will be on the jury. Heads, it's Kyu King Dong. Tails, it's Kim Tong Yun. And it's heads. So Kyu King Dong, you are going to be on the jury. Okay, so you're going to vote on and determine who is most guilty. So I'm going to write this down. On group 4, I'm sorry, that's group 5. Room 1, the Columbus. So heads, it's the top 2, tails, it's the bottom 2, and it's tails. So Chong Min-ju it will be if it's heads, and it is heads. So Chong Min-ju, you are on room 1. So you're Columbus, from Columbus group, you will be on the jury. So I'm trying to write down who's on the jury here. And room 2, if it's heads, it's from the top 3, tails is from the bottom 2, and it's heads. So if it's heads, it's Kim Hyun Suk, and it is tails. So if it's heads, it's Oh Un Tek, and it is heads. So Oh Un Tek from Columbus's men. Oh Un Tek from Columbus's men, you are in the jury. And from room 3, heads it's Sally and it's tails. Sung Hyun Oh is heads and it's tails. So Ji1U is from group 3, room 3. You are on the jury. And from room 4, heads, it's the top 2, tails, it's the bottom 2, tails. So if it's head, it's UGE, and it's heads, so it's UGE from room 4 is part of the jury. UJE. Okay, so let me see how to do this here. Can I create a new group? I can't create another group, I guess. Well, I'll just keep it like this. So who's going to speak first? And remember, in this trial, in this court trial that we're having, your task is to defend yourself, and that means try to show why another group is more guilty than you. Why another group is more guilty than you. Because that's how you have to try to prove that you're not guilty because someone else is guilty. That's typically what you do in the courtroom. So who will speak first? So heads, it's group room 1 through 3, and it is tails. So I tell you what, let's just, I think it'd be easier if we go through group 1. So Columbus's men, room 1. Let's start with you. So who's going to speak for room 1? Does anybody volunteer? If not, I'm going to flip a coin and choose somebody. Room 1. Who's going to argue that Columbus is not guilty? Or not mostly guilty? And so let me flip a coin since nobody's volunteering. And it's heads, it's the top 2, it's Song Un Song or Hey Boom, and it is heads. So if it's heads, it's Song Un Song, or tails, it's Hey Boom. And it is tails. So Hey Boom. Hey Boom from Columbus's men in room 1. Please give us a statement as to why, defending Christopher Columbus, why he's not the most guilty in this horrible crime. Hey, Boom. Hey, Boom. Well, it doesn't appear that Hey Boom wants to speak. What about Chong Min-ju? Or Kim Chong-soo? Hello? Well, it doesn't appear that Columbus people want to speak. So what about room 2? Who will speak for room 2, for Columbus's men? Anyone? Kim Won-sok, Oh Eun-taek, Lee Hyun, Chung Ji-ae, Pyun Chung-woo. This is an opportunity for you to practice your English. Well, I think that I am going to have to maybe reorganize this session a little bit more clearly, because I think we got the rooms mixed up. And I thought I could assign people individually to the rooms, or let you choose which rooms you wanted to join. Because when I checked the Zoom yesterday, but I don't see how it allows you to choose which room you want you go into. But it doesn't appear. Does anybody want to make a statement as to why your actor is not guilty? Well, this doesn't appear to be working very well. So let me leave the room, leave breakout room. And let me close the rooms. I think I should have written down who was in which room when I assigned the rooms. I thought I could see on the video recording of the class the assignment of the different individuals to the room. So I could just go back to the recording and see who was in room 1, who was in room 2, who was in room 3. Then I checked yesterday, and the video recording stops when you assign people to breakout rooms. So there wasn't available on the video recording. I couldn't see on the video recording who was in which group that was assigned on Wednesday last week. And I just thought it would record it so I could go back and write down who was in the groups, but I can't do that. So I learned that I can't do that. So next time, I know that I need to write down or take a picture, a cell phone picture of who's in the groups. And maybe we can do that next class, okay? So I'm going to close the groups. I'm going to ask you, let me see if I can do it like this, because there's some confusion of which groups you belong to. So why is it, okay, let's reorganize this now that we're done with add drop period. So I'm going to assign this person to room 5 and this person to room 5. And now, let's see, that's 4 or 3 people in each group. And so let me rename the group. So this group is Columbus. This group is Columbus men. This group is Isabella and Ferdinand. And this group is Tynos. And this group is System of Empire. And so those are the groups. So let me redo this again. Let me send you the files. Please join the groups. And Kim Tong-un is not assigned anywhere. So what do I want to assign her? Assign her to where do you want to go, Kim Tong-un? Kim Tong-hyun? Doesn't matter? Okay, I'll assign you.
Last week, I was in the group 1.
Oh, yeah, we already have 4 people in group 1. How about if I put you in Tynos or System of Empire? and put you in Tynos. And so please join group 4. And now I'm going to write down who's in which group because I can't. And so we'll do this for the next class. Well, let me. Okay. And Columbus. And then go back to the breakout rooms, join Columbus men. And then go back to the breakout rooms and group 3 and join that group. And King 3. And then go to group 4 and send you the Tynos file.
종성님이랑
And then go to group 5 and send you the System of Empire file.
Hello.
And okay. And Kim Tong-un, we will put you on the jury for next class. From Isabel and Ferdinand, we will put Ji-Hyun Yu in the jury.
Sir, I think you're just talking to us, group 5.
I'm talking to the different groups at a different point now. Just a second. And on Columbus's men, from the Columbus's men group, I will put Pak Chung-woo on the jury. And from room 1, Columbus, I will put Song Un-song on the jury. And from group 5, I will put Chung Sung-hyun on the jury.
Cool.
And just a second, I'm writing this down, who's on the jury so I don't forget. And now I want to take a picture as to who's on which group. And swipe to open. Yeah, I'm not very good at this picture thing. I've never done it before, actually. I'm not a big picture taker. And let's see if I can do it. Because it'd be nice to get this figured out so that we can do this because, we're going to be meeting online only. Oh, there it is, camera. Okay. As big as possible. Okay, there's one. Take another one. Okay. Hopefully I got that down. And then we'll try this one more time next week. Okay. And let me choose somebody from each group who's going to speak. All right. So System of Empire, we've got Chong Sung Hyun is on the jury. So that means it's got to be Kyu King Tong or Kim Won Suk will speak for System of Empire. So you can prepare. And heads, it's Kyu King Tong. And it's Kim Hwan Suk will speak for System of Empire on Wednesday. So Kim Hwan Suk and Kyu King Dong and Chung Sung Won, please communicate with Kim. System of Empire speakers will be Kim Won Suk, and for Columbus, we have Song Un Sang, Song Un Sang, as the member of the jury. So the person that will speak for the group is Haebon. Haebon will speak for Columbus. Haebon will speak for Columbus. So please communicate with each other to help Haebon prepare a statement to make before the jury. And then Columbus's men, we had Pak Chung-woo is on the jury. So who's going to speak from the other three for the Columbus's men? And it is Owen Tech. Owen Tech will speak for Columbus's men. And who will speak for Isabella and Ferdinand? So Isabella and Ferdinand, we had Chi Hwan Yu is on the jury. So from either Sally or Song Hyun Oh. And it is heads is Sally and it is tails. So Song Hwan Oh will speak for Isabella and Ferdinand. And for the Tainos, we have Kim Tong Yoon is on the jury for the Tainos. So who's going to speak for the Tainos? And head is Pak Ji-un. Let's see what happens here. It's tail, so it is Kim Do-yeon. Kim Do-yeon. Kim Do-yeon will speak for the Tainos. Okay. Will speak for the Tainos on Wednesday. So we'll have a lot to do on Wednesday because on Wednesday also we have to have our debate on the debate topic. And so I'm going to close the rooms. And you see, it doesn't record when I'm assigning people to breakout rooms. You can see it stops the recording. So it can't rely upon the video recording to know who's in a breakout room. So I learned that now. Okay, so back to the assignment. So I would like you to submit by Wednesday or by Tuesday, tomorrow, a 150-word paragraph on this topic. To South Koreans, America owes reparations to its indigenous and Black citizens for the legacy effects of European colonization and imperialism. Should American government give reparations to Black people and Indians the way, for example, that South Koreans demand that Japan give reparations and compensation to comfort women and people enslaved to work in Japanese factories in World War II, Koreans who were forced to work as slaves in World War II in Japanese factories and bordellos. You know, there's that great discussion, big discussion going on in South Korea about whether or not Japan owes reparations and should provide compensation to Japanese crimes. Should the American government give reparations to Black people and Indian Americans for the crimes of Christopher Columbus and everything else that happened in America since America was founded 400 years ago? Given the suffering of these people, as evident, for example, in the high rates of poverty, the high rates of drug abuse, alcohol abuse, the high rates of poverty among these people, the high rates of incarceration or imprisonment in America's jails. And should America, pro or con, give reparations, an apology, and material benefit to these people to overcome the legacy of imperialism and colonization? That's a big topic in the U.S. media these days, particularly among the Black Lives Matter protesters and others demanding reparations to overcome this legacy of marginalization and segregation that show up in these people being so disproportionately suffering in terms of crime and drug abuse and poverty. So please submit that 150-word paragraph to the assignments box, and please use and cite information from the reading to support your argument, because you want to make an argument. In academic writing, you've got to make an argument, right? And you have to persuade your reader that your argument is the right argument, is true, that your argument is truth. And that means you have to have evidence to support your argument. And if you provide evidence in terms of pointing to where in the Zinn book Howard Zinn makes a statement about what happened to the Tainos and what happened to indigenous people in America, to understand the problems and challenges that these people face today, remember, they're stereotyped negatively. White Americans tend to see Black people and Indian, not all, but they tend to see Black people and Indian people as less than equal, that they're somehow inferior, ridiculous, bad people who are poor and dumb because they like being poor and dumb. It's their fault that they're disproportionately poor and disproportionately dysfunctional. It's their fault, not my fault, their fault. So, and people internalize that. These people that belong to those groups over the generations and centuries, they learn from everything in terms of going on in the society around them, from the media, that what is the perfect, most beautiful American? A white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed white person. And people that are not like that are considered to be ugly. We showed that in the class about the way Hollywood stereotyped Indians. And you're always getting that feedback from your whole world that you'll never amount to anything, that you are really not wanted in America. And remember, no more than 10% of anything you write, no more than 10% of any paragraph or paper that you write, or like on the midterm paper, no more than 10% of that should be quoted text, copied text from the book or from any source. And if you do copy it, you should put it in quotation marks, right? To indicate that you've copied that text. But like if you write a 150-word paragraph, that means that no more than 15 words, because 10% of 150 is 15, right? No more than 15 words should be copied text from a source. And of course, if you do copy the source, you do copy the text, you put it in quotation marks, and you put the page number in the book where that's located. Okay? Because you only really learn when you have to phrase information in your own words. When you have to phrase information in your own words, okay? When you have to learn information and say it in your own words or write it down in your own words, that's when you really learn. That's when I learn. Remember, I'm asking you to do things that I have to do. I have to write papers too. I have to write papers and present those papers to other people and present those papers at conferences and get them published to keep my job. So I'm asking you to do what I have to do. I just don't teach. I have to write things, and I have to write good things, good enough that they're able to get published somewhere. So, and that's what I have to do. When I write a paper, I have to make an argument. I have to make a statement, and I have to prove it with evidence. And that evidence comes from, well, one major source of evidence is other published books and articles in academic journals or published books. I can point to the book. See, my idea relates to what was published in Howard Zinn. See how it relates to what Howard Zinn said, and Howard Zinn's book has been published. That means it's been asserted as a good book. So my idea might be a good idea because I show how I build upon what Howard Zinn or other people have published and argued. So you should do that as well, right? It's good to have an opinion on whether or not, pro or con, America owes reparations to Blacks and Indians, but you have to provide some evidence to persuade your reader. Opinion, an opinion doesn't mean much. You want to make a truth claim, a claim about what is true, and prove it to the reader that your claim is not just an opinion or a claim, it's the truth. Now, the reader might not believe it, but you have to try, right? I have to try, you have to try. And then the plan is, since everybody's been thinking about this information, we can have an in-class debate. And I have to go back and see how I can let you choose which groups you want to belong to, because I thought you could do that here. You could choose the groups you could belong to. I checked yesterday and it says allow people to choose groups to join. And so I will let you, I'll look into that. And then we'll have an in-class debate, and everybody who speaks can get an extra credit point. Right? Everybody who participates gets an extra credit point. Again, one of the aims here is to encourage you to practice your English. And the way you practice your English is by first writing down your ideas in English. And then when it's time to speak, you've written down your ideas. So you've thought about how to say it in English, and it's easier to say. Right? That's how you improve your English. So the idea is you write the paragraph, you submit it to me by tomorrow morning, and then I send it back, your paragraph back to you with my comments on it so you can think about them. And then we meet on Wednesday for a 1-hour class and, well, try to finish up the Columbus exercise, and then also have an in-class debate. And that will be how you get participation points, right? We want to have participation in the class. And so if you submit a paragraph tomorrow, that's worth up to 5 participation points. Because remember from the syllabus states that this includes a weekly 150-word paragraph, okay? And it's not graded. I'm not going to give you A, B, C. I just want to make sure that you, however, it's at least 150 words in length, and that you use and cite information from the Howard Zinn book one time, give me the page number one time where there is information in that book that you claim supports your position in the paragraph. Okay? And that way you write out your thoughts in English, and that way we come prepared to talk on Wednesday. Because we're not gonna meet face to face, it looks like, until next month sometime. So we want you to have practice with your writing and speaking. Remember, this is the last chance you have, most of you, to work with somebody like me who will help you improve your English. This is the last opportunity you have, because after you get out of college, you get a job, and your employer is probably not going to pay you or help you improve your English. They just want you to be able to do what you have to do, and that's it. The last chance you have to polish your excellent English skills to make it even better than already is now in college. Okay. So that's the idea behind the paragraphs. And we're still trying to figure out how to do all of this on Zoom. I like this use of the Zoom files that I just sent you, because when we would meet face to face in this class, I had to make photocopies and paper, so much paper to give to people and everything. I can send you the file and you can study it, and then it's so easy to participate on Zoom. But people that participate will get a participation point. Okay, so that's the plan. And anybody have any questions? If you do, please let me know, or you can just send me a chat message, let me know, or raise your hand. And okay. Okay, so Columbus Day. Columbus Day is coming up. It's an American holiday. And so let's do another in-class exercise on Columbus Day. And what I would like you to do is role play. Well, let's go through this article from a few years ago. It says here, and I think you can see this. Let me make sure you can see it. So you share screen. So it says here, indigenous rights activists gathered outside Mission San Juan Capistrano. That's too slow. Indigenous rights activists gathered outside Mission San Juan Capistrano for the 10th consecutive year to call out for an end to Columbus Day and attempt to shed light on atrocities they say mission leaders committed against local tribes, meaning Catholic missionaries, right? Catholic missionaries founded California when California in San Juan Capistrano was in California, when California was part of the Spanish Empire until the Americans conquered it from Mexico. About 25 people stationed at Ortega Highway and Junipero Serra Road carried handmade signs that likened Father Junipero Serra. He's considered to be like the founder of California, this priest, this Catholic priest. So again, California boys and girls have been told that this is a great man. This is California's version of Christopher Columbus. About 25 people stationed at Ortega Highway and Junipero Serra Road carried handmade signs that likened Father Junipero Serra to a mass murderer, Christopher Columbus to an illegal alien, and California missions to concentration camps. In other words, Catholic missionaries were trying to convert Indians to Catholic religion, but they did some bad things to those Indian people when they were trying to bring Jesus to them. Organizer Nayo Huitzilopochtli, that's a Indian name, somebody who adopted an Indian name, said that October 12th event was designed to expose the mission system use of slave labor and educate the public on issues facing indigenous tribes that exist in Orange County today. So they're claiming that those Catholic missions led by the Father Junipero Serra used the Indians as slaves. And again, as I mentioned, throughout North America, Indian people are disproportionately poor. They've got disproportionate alcohol and drug abuse problems. Participants said they honked They received honks from supporters of people driving by in their cars, honking their horns, jeers from opponents, and questions from inquisitive visitors. Christina Hackinson of Juve Creative in Huntington Beach, which handles the mission's public relations, said the mission respectfully declined to comment on the gathering. So that Catholic mission is still there. The protest was organized by Mexicana Movement, a Los Angeles-based group that also organizes corporate boycotts and history lectures, said Colectivo Tonantzin, an Orange County-based organization. Orange County is the county where Los Angeles is based in California. It's basically the same as Los Angeles. It's an Orange County-based organization that advocates for day laborers' rights and works to combat police brutality. So yeah, people that do difficult, dirty, dangerous work, they tend to be disproportionately people that are Hispanic, Indian, Black. The people that tend to be attacked or abused by police tend to be non-white people, Indian people, Hispanic people. The event intentionally coincided with the anniversary of Columbus' arrival in the Americas, organizers said, because millions of indigenous people died from illness and violence as a result. We see this as a day to mourn and remember our ancestors, said Kutsitopotli, a 33-year-old Costa Mesa resident who changed his given name to a more indigenous one when he turned 18. So he probably had a Christian white name, maybe a Spanish name, maybe an English name, and he changed his name when he was 18 to something more authentic because he's Indian American. We are never going to forget about what happened, and we will educate the world on the genocide carried out against our people. So here they have, of course, some pictures. Christopher Columbus, criminal, terrorist, a real illegal alien. And of course, you can see that this generates lots of intense emotion, right? So what I would like you to do now, I'll assign you now to 6 different groups. I want you to role play. Role play. And I know I'm not asking you to choose sides. I'm going to tell you which side you're on. So you can just accept that, okay, I was assigned to this group. Because one of the challenges or one of the principles that I like to try to promote in teaching about politics is that it's good to think about how your adversary or your target of your political activism as a social activist or as a government, how does your target understand the world? How does your target understand or perceive the world? You need to empathize. You need to put yourself in your target's shoes, the target of your policy, either as a government or the target of your efforts as an individual in anything you do in life. If you're applying for a job, you have to try to put yourself in the shoes of the employer that you're trying to be hired by. What do they want? How can you make yourself more appealing by understanding what they want, what they are looking for? And when you can do that, you can more effectively plan your own actions, your own policies, if we're talking about a government. So you have to, as we say in American English, put yourself in their shoes. I want you to put yourself also in the shoes of those people who are protesting against tearing down monuments to Christopher Columbus, like the Proud Boys, or tearing down monuments to Robert E. Lee, the leader of the Confederate forces fighting to keep slavery and separate from the United States in Virginia. I'm not saying you have to like them. I'm not saying you have to agree with them, but you have to it's good to try to understand their worldview. Why or why do they see the world the way they do? Try to understand why they see and understand the world the way they do. So of course, next Columbus Day is a little over a month from now. And it's a holiday in the United States. I think people get off work from government on Columbus Day. So for groups 1, 3, 5, you are pro-Columbus Day activists. I want you to defend Columbus Day. I want you to defend Columbus Day. So you are Korean Americans who are strongly supportive of Donald Trump. He's probably going to run for president again, by the way, Donald Trump. He's leaning towards running for president again in 2024. And those Proud Boy people and those white supremacist demonstrators, they love Donald Trump. And 246, you are Native American activists, you attack Columbus Day. You are Korean Americans strongly supportive of US Senator and left-wing presidential candidate Bernie Sanders. He was the favorite among Howard Zinn supporters, Howard Zinn enthusiasts. So I don't know which groups you're in, but we'll decide now. So please take out a piece of paper and let's say the person on the top of each group's list. So we're gonna make 6 rooms. The top person on that list is going to speak for the group. So help that person that's top on the list of the 6 rooms to prepare to speak for the group, okay? So let's go back to, no, I don't want to do that. Let's stop share and go back to breakout rooms. And I want to close the old breakout rooms. And I should have done that earlier. I want to assign you into 6 new groups now. And groups 1, 3, and 5, you are pro Columbus Day. Groups 2, 4, and 6, you attack Columbus Day. You want a Columbus Day to be abolished. So let me wait for Zoom to close out the old rooms here. And I think it's done. And just a second, I should have closed out the old groups previously. And okay, so let me assign you to 6 different groups. It's not really, just a second. Okay, recreate those 6 different groups. And so assign automatically. See, it says here, I don't know, you can't see it. It says assign automatically, assign manually, let participants choose the room. I thought it didn't work out last time. Okay, so 6 different groups, assign manually. The first person in each group will speak for the group. Okay, so there you go, open all rooms. So please join the groups. Please join the 6 groups. And Kim Tong-yeon will speak for group 1. Pyeon Chung-woo will speak for group 2, room 2. Kim Chon-soo will speak for room 3. Kang Tong-yoon will speak, Sally will speak for group 4. Kim Tong-hyun will speak for room 5. And room 6, it's Kyu King Tong. And so help the speaker for your group prepare. And I should also prepare the statement. And so let me close that. And so heads, I will be pro Columbus Day. Tails, I'll be anti-Columbus Day. And it's heads. So I will write a statement defending Columbus Day. Okay. Okay, so one more minute. Sorry, someone have a question?
Yeah, we're kind of confused on what we're supposed to do, sir.
Okay, groups 1, 3, and 5 are supposed to write a statement, a public release statement defending Columbus Day. And groups 2, 4, and 6 write a public release statement attacking Columbus Day. You're supporting these two candidates for president, Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders. 2, 4, 6 are supporting Bernie Sanders. 1, 3, 5 are supporting Donald Trump. And of course,
Okay.
Donald Trump is all about supporting, traditional American thinking, American history, pride and proud, being proud European, being proud about being white. Bernie Sanders and Howard Zinn are in favor of tearing down Columbus Day statues and Robert E. Lee statues. Make a statement regarding these presidential campaigns for Donald Trump, 135, and 246 for Bernie Sanders. Just a brief statement, 50 words, nothing long and involved.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, so help your speaker prepare. And okay, 1 minute.